Well, these military-style assault weapons, these weapons of war, were designed to kill as many people as possible on a battlefield. They do not belong on the streets or in our communities, and the laws that we currently have are not sufficient to protect people. Well, it's a legislative matter, and I'm working with our legislators and community leaders as much as I possibly can to support stronger laws to prevent gun violence. And there are a lot of things that we can do. First of all, universal background checks. We need to get that. Prohibiting bump stocks, which convert semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic weapons. These military-style assault weapons are designed to kill as many people on a battlefield as possible. We need to further restrict them. Another measure is a risk warrant, where a family member knows of someone close to them who's a threat or risk of being violent, to get them the help they need and separate them from the guns while they're in crisis. So there are a lot of measures and laws that we need to pass, a lot of actions that we need to take, and these tragedies are happening every single day. I'm a parent. I can't imagine sending a child to school and them not coming back. I cannot imagine the grief that parents must feel when they lose a child like that. And unfortunately, we have a growing fraternity of parents who know what that feeling is like. We are raising a generation of kids who are being told any day, so somebody can walk into school, you could be shot and killed in a classroom or a movie theater or at a concert. This needs to stop. We have a gun violence problem, and we need stronger laws to protect people. Universal background checks will help prevent people who are prohibited from purchasing firearms from getting them. So that's an important foundation, but those alone are not going to solve the problem. There are a lot of different things that we need to work on. That's a good framework and a good place to start, and it's something that almost all Virginians agree with. Well, right now in Virginia, there's no requirement that every gun sale or gun transfer has to be accompanied with a background check. So if someone goes to a federally licensed firearms dealer, a background check is done, but even if they're prohibited from purchasing it, they could buy a gun at a gun show. Yeah, I think every gun sale should have a background check to make sure that the person who's trying to purchase it is allowed to have one. And that would stop a lot of prohibited persons from purchasing firearms if we made background checks universal in Virginia. You know, you would have thought that there would have been a watershed moment years ago. Every year it seems like we are having another mass shooting that is worse than the mass shooting that occurred, a few months earlier. We're already, I think this is the 18th school shooting this year. It's mid-February. So we have had a lot of watershed moments already. It's time for action. And here in the Virginia General Assembly, it's the Republicans in the legislature who are standing in the way and blocking this. And it's time that those legislators start putting the interests of their constituents ahead of the gun lobby and the gun manufacturers.